The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Meantime, the White House press briefing, well, guess what? It just wrapped. Jay Carney answering questions about the revelations that President Obama had briefly lived with an uncle while in law school, despite previous claims that he had no record of the two ever meeting. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry, fresh from the briefing room. All right, Ed, so this report came out right before you went into that briefing room. You asked the question, what's the reasoning for it?
Well, Gretchen, we're trying to figure it out. Jay Carney says that they had made a mistake inside the White House about the nature of this relationship with the uncle back in 2011, so they decided they wanted to clear why it's relevant now is this uncle, Omar Obama, lives in the Boston area and was in an immigration court this week, threatened with deportation to Kenya. He is now staying here, though, we're told. He's gotten asylum and is staying here. But the question was that back in 2011, the Boston Globe, when this first sort of came about as a case, asked the White House what was the nature of the relationship. Back then, the White House said there was no record of the two ever meeting, the president and his uncle. Now they're saying, actually, since details came out in immigration court this week, they lived together briefly when the president was in Massachusetts for law school at Harvard University. They lived together for about 3 weeks at that time, many years ago. Here's Jay Carney a few moments ago.
What I can tell you, Ed, and thank you for the question, is that back when this arose, folks looked at the record, including the president's book, and there was no evidence that they had met. There was, that was what was conveyed. Nobody spoke to the president. When Omar Obama said the other day, and there were reports that he had said the other day that President Obama, back when he was a law school student, had stayed with him in Cambridge, I thought it was the right thing to do to go ask him. Nobody had asked him in the past, and the president said that he, in fact, had met Omar Obama when he moved to Cambridge for law school, and that he stayed with him for a brief period of time until the president's apartment was ready.
So, bottom line is Jay Carney saying that back in 2011, when they first got this question, they told the Boston Globe that the two had never met because they had failed to ask the president directly. They say that now some of these details came out in court this week. They cleared it up. They asked the president directly. They're trying to correct the record. By the way, for the record, they're also saying that the president played no role in his immigration case at all, Gretchen.
Well, it's very interesting, and yet another question Jay Carney probably didn't want to get, but you asked it, Ed. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.